Hi, Marianne. Grant Putnam here, Putnam Landscaping. Just met with you at your house. Just wanted to create a brief video just explaining the scope of the work, proposed work. So one of the ideas we talked about was turning this area into lawn. Okay, removing these trees, possibly the parking over in that area over there. Moving these trees in the front, transplanting the 3 crab apples, removing the 2 weeping cherries and the dogwood tree, reconfiguring the walkway, extending this front steps, the front stoop, extending it and changing the dimensions to get the proper aesthetic, as well as changing the height of the steps. Okay. Obviously, landscape design and plantings along the front foundation of the house. Shade-loving plantings to cover the propane tank and under the existing white pine trees. Plantings to try to mask the parking area when you're entertained or when people are walking up your front walkway, they don't see the cars. Plantings, another planting bed, probably call it 60 feet by 30 feet in this area, where you might, my suggestion, actually leave those trees in that area over there and creating a planting bed. Take out all these trees in here to get lawn. Okay. I would keep this dogwood that's in good shape. There's actually, that's a dogwood, and that's a dogwood as well. So I would keep these 2 dogwoods. But again, create understory of plantings through here. Another bed, so call it 30 to 40 feet long, 12 feet wide, because the grass is not going to grow here, and I think that would look really nice as you pull in the driveway. Perhaps you could ask your neighbors if you're allowed to plant behind the wall here, if they're okay with that. I was thinking about this. You got the wisteria on the arbor. These are, you've got arborvitae right behind the fence. I think it makes sense leaving the arborvitae on the other side of the fence that are kind of screen out the house. But these arborvitae here behind this fence, I would actually take those down, because it kind of, it would be nice when you're standing here, you could look out and you could actually see the water. And right now you really can't do that because of the arborvitaes. There's really no purpose of these arborvitaes here. So again, I would remove some of these and then replant lower shrubs on the other side for interest, for color and interest. Okay, because the problem with these, same problem, you got no growth in the bottom 8 feet of the arborvitae due to lack of sun, as well as the deer eating it. So there's a door there, so you'd probably, again, have this whole area would be driveway. Stepping stone path going from the gate here to connect to this walkway, and then some sort of a ground cover / fern garden in this area. Understory plantings going through here to mask the fact that the bottom of the trees have all been eaten by the deer. Okay, plantings over here. You'll get more sunlight in this area. You'll get more afternoon sun because the sun is over here in the afternoon. This whole area will look better if these trees right here were gone, these group. The area would look much nicer. There's your dog. We talked about possibly removing the 2 trees here to try to get the site view from inside the house out to the water. Transplanting all the viburnum. You have 2 different types of viburnum. That's a Marissi viburnum. This is a Wentworth viburnum. A couple of lilacs up here. Again, you could transplant. Some ornamental grasses that were planted over here. Same thing, transplant, because those are just not getting enough sunlight. Then I would put some uplights underneath the Japanese maple. At nighttime, it'll make it glow. It's really, really pretty and create a focal point. And then just rethink the landscaping along that upper ridge. Rethink the landscaping along this ledge, and that could make it look really, really nice. If these trees were cut back, these grasses will look better. More landscaping over there. Again, there's another pocket of landscaping over there that has to happen. And then obviously on this side, that's what I was saying. If you want to have a nice balance of landscaping where the grasses are here and you get landscaping here, you might want to take this one big tree down. You could still have all the other big trees, but this one specifically is creating a lot of shade in here, so you might want to take that down. So here's your pathway going down. And the idea here is perhaps filling in these pockets with perennials and landscaping to make it look really nice. Same thing, here's another pocket. So going down both sides of the walkway. Replacing the steps would be a big project, so you'd have to really think if you wanted to do that. It'd be quite a high cost. These are rustic and natural. The only issue is the safety. We did talk about perhaps putting some sort of a railing, whether it's kind of a rope railing going along the side here, which I think is a good idea. The fence, this is kind of, from a liability perspective, you know, you probably still want to be somewhat pool code, because when you sell the house, or even from a liability perspective, you don't want to have anyone get hurt. You might consider, you know, swapping out the fence with a proper fence, a welded wire fence that's pool code. Remove all the saplings in here via tree company. And down through here, shed over here, sitting area over here, open the views out to the water. This is kind of a peninsula, I guess you could call it. So this could be your sitting area. You'd have to put in, you know, if you do the sitting area and say if it was 25 feet long or 30 feet long by 17 feet wide, right here, then you still need about a 2 to 3 foot retaining wall to level the grade. Okay. Then we talked about possibly putting in some plantings to give you a little more privacy from the neighbor on this side. Okay, if the saplings were gone, you get the sunlight, then that's a possibility. The pathway, got to think about some sort of a pathway to get up and down through here. Because if it's wet outside, right after a rain, it might be a little slippery on the mud. Possibly like some sort of a fern natural woodlands feel going through here. And that's it. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.